Hey everyone, welcome back to Play Casket. In this episode of Your Turn, we're going to have a your Turn all about You're Fired. Yeah, everyone's getting fired. The Germalists. They are Germalists. We're keeping that. No, it's Germalists now. No, that's just how it's going to work. Journalists aren't human now, so it doesn't really matter. But yes, journalist jobs, journalism jobs, especially a lot in the video game and entertainment sector, are getting cut out. Kaput.
Kablamo.
Explosion, right? Explosion noises. Well, the thing emotional is, like, damage.
It's probably more for just like things to come, but
yeah, no,
it's just
I definitely agree with that. No, continue.
Sorry, but it is just more for things to come. Because we're seeing like tons and tons of layoffs too. Mm-hmm. Google just like torched a bunch of people too. So,
oh man, that TikTok still makes me all aflutter. I saw it on Minds. It was good stuff.
Well, what'd you expect that would happen when like this is just your work day and
this is
like,
just the day in the life of just me being a Google employee?
It's like you worked.
Oh well, I'm fired. I wonder why. I really wonder why.
You do like 3 hours a week,
like gross. And the woman had to soak her pain in Disneyland food, so she went to fucking Disneyland.
Oh boy, I hope you have a lot saved up.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Hashtag learn the coal mine, because I don't think I trust you with code. Dear Lord, man.
And then Washington Post kills their gaming division, which I didn't even know they have.
Like I didn't even either. Like there was a couple when we were doing research on this. There was a couple that were like, yeah, we got rid of this sector and this sector. I'm like, you all had a video game sector. Like this is how useless journalist opinions are. That you have 20,000, and none of us know any of them.
I know.
Like that's messed up. That is so sad.
Go to college to get a degree to tell us how much you hate us. It's like, well, I'll just go to YouTube then. It's free.
I'll go to YouTube, and some internet personalities that are short and green will tell me how wonderful I am. It's okay. You are wonderful. Thank you for listening. Thank you all for listening. I love you guys. You tickle my ears, guys. Never think your opinion is invalid unless you like Fortnite or Call of Duty. Then it's absolutely invalid.
But I will have to give props to the people who, if you're a good journalist and you really, really want to do games and you're worth your salt, you would have done it for free. Like
yeah, like you would have still found you would have probably negotiated it down a little bit. At least that way you're like, look, I can cut back on XYZ lifestyle or whatever and just plow through it. You know, I mean, hell, we do this shit for free.
Yeah,
and it's because we love this. And honestly, if we ever get to a point where we can actually monetize our stuff and all that, it will go straight back into this. I want to make sure like we become an entertainment hub, you know, like people will go to Play Casket to not just listen to our podcast every week, not just listen to our recap every week, but come in and maybe even see our reviews. Maybe we'll have some unboxings, maybe we'll have some skits, maybe we'll have some art. Who knows? I would like to do a lot of that with this, you know?
And we do it because we like it, not because some multi-trillion-dollar corporation is paying us to say this. Like,
yeah, and on top of that, the thing is, like, we're gonna do stuff, and I feel like we have plans to basically take over what G4 should have done. And one of those things we have already done. We have made a vow: we will not hire Frosk.
Already we're better. Right?
This mausoleum's like 30 feet deep underground, and we're still not that frigid. So let's be real here, all right? We're not gonna do that. You're welcome. We're doing this for you. But yeah, it's just a lot of this. I think a lot of it kind of spurs on the fact that gaming became like such a big titan in the late Wii era, and it just had so much more momentum since then that people they're just like, oh well, I could be a journalist for video games. I played video games before, and like all these companies are like, I need to hire this many people, and if they all have like the same like political perspective and skew, they're all going to hire each other. And then you're going to be like, why is all this communist propaganda in my video games? And then they're going to look and like, oh, it's because it's journalism, and journalism's bad.
Yeah, so rest in piss. Right?
Yeah, basically, rest in piss, man.
Well, the thing is, like, they're so salty about YouTubers, too. They're so fucking jealous.
Yeah. For like the 25 people who watch us every day, we're still better than the 30,000 clicks they get. I know that for a fact. Our stuff is top quality.
Well, the thing
our
is
videos may not be, but like our opinions and our our op-ed, whatever opinion pieces, that they're top notch. They're actually stuff that we play, we get into, and if we didn't, here's opinions of stuff that we think about as to why we don't do that. Like if it's a different game or whatever. But these guys, like, they just find the most inane, dumb, stupid, worthless opinion. They're like, how can I make this about me? Bitch, this is it's only hot Harry Potter, man. Let it go.
Well, the thing is, like, they get paid per article, and then they get assignments that they don't want to write about. So of course they're gonna be salty as hell about what they receive, because they use it as a stepping stone. Like, oh, I got a degree in this. I want to be on the front lines writing about Ukraine. I don't want to write about some dumb game.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Let's be real. They would just want to cover stuff that they think is important in Ukraine. Like if there's some kind of progressive cat out there, like, let's cover this. This is so heartwarming. No, it's dumb. It's dumb. That's why journalists people aren't people. You heard me. So I'm gonna still say that, and I'm getting spicy today. Not really. It's like a unanimous agreement by this point. Like, honestly, even like I'm pretty sure journalists are like, oh, I guess I am. Yeah, you are, Germalists. Get out of here.
Rest in piss. You're not going to be missed.
Germalists. But yeah, so I don't know. Like, it feels like this was kind of writing on the wall long before we had any type of like financial issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it seemed weird to have people like Washington post about video games repeatedly. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure some of people looked at their phone and they had some kind of random update from like Google or Apple and was like, hey, the Washington Post says this about the next Zelda game. What do you think? You're like, bitch, the Zelda game's like 4 years out. What the hell's wrong with you? Why are you posting this?
Yeah.
I'm like, what was another one? The stupid stunt. So usually it was about Smash Brothers, and usually about some tournament, somebody always gets too upset and breaks their controller. It's almost constant that it happens. And like, I got this little thing on the phone. It's like, did you know that the one outburst of this one player really riled up about the conversation and had really dark crevices about privilege? I'm like, no,
what?
that dude's just a brat.
Well, I mean, yeah, so basically it was an article about one person writing about this one player just smashed his controller. I'm like, bitch, that happens all the fucking time.
Dude, there's people who smash their controllers or their keyboards all the time during like streams of Call of Duty or Counter-Strike, especially Counter-Strike, because there's a lot of like Eastern Europeans that are just like, schmooch small, smash, 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 smash. And you're like, I didn't understand anything you said, but I understood the action that you took.
Yeah.
He probably didn't like that outcome. Well, yeah, he died. But yeah, it's just, it's been coming for years. Like, probably 2014 or so when they started doing all that stupid Gamergate nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, when that was all going on, like, oh, so you guys are entirely worthless. Like, that was like when most people didn't care. And then you made everybody care. And those people who you made care didn't care about your side.
Even though, too, I think people would have just sleptwalk through the entire thing, and then they wouldn't shut up about it. And it's like, okay, let's take a closer look at your shitty writings and how none of this have to do with the review at all. And they're such cowards because I remember seeing the Bayonetta review. Mm-hmm. They were like, oh, this is just how men see women. It's so objectifying. It's disgusting. I hate this. 8 out of 10. Because they're fucking cowards.
Yeah. Well, no, not only that, they like trashed it but then they turned around and reviewed Bayonetta 3 as, I don't understand why straight people like this. This is clearly for us. This is the views for us. It's ours. It's our game. Get out of here.
But to be fair, it is a different writer. Yeah, it is a different writer, but at the same time, like...
But it's the same propping.
Yeah.
Like that. It's not about the same writer. Like, just because the different writers will have different opinions, big shock. It's the fact that the collective around it will always repeatedly just prop it up. Like, that is ours. Yes, that is ours. No, that's not yours. Yeah, that is ours. No, that's not yours.
And this is why...
It's the same people keep constantly, and it contradicts themselves every time.
Because they're fake as shit, and that's why they hate YouTubers, because they don't have a personality.
Yeah, of course. There's a wonderful green personality right here you're listening to. What are you doing? How you doing?
Because they can't get the same pull that we can. Like... Yeah.
I would love to like literally have this come back and bite us in the ass one day when we become famous. So like, you said this like you guys own the world, but you only had 20 views at the time. Yeah. And we're still better.
We still have more views than any journalist when they write
basically.
About their shitty
We had
games.
more likes. Get fucked.
We're more organic too. Just because you have a degree in a fucking multi-million-dollar company behind your back, you got bots following you. No, you have like almost 500,000 followers, and you get like 3 likes. I'm like,
dude,
shut the hell up.
We get like 9 to 10 likes now, which is more on an average, which is really cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
As of recording of this thing, we have a hate watcher. I know you're out there. How you doing? Thanks for the views. I'm glad I'm wasting your time. I'm gonna laugh. It's a journalist. That'd be hilarious. I kind of hope it does now.
If you're worth your salt, go and write. Go and make stuff.
Do it. Dude, he's sitting here listening to a ghost and a goblin in a mausoleum talk about video games, and somehow we're doing it better than you, and we haven't had any type of training in this. So, are we being cocky today? I think we're being cocky today. We had some extra sauce today.
Good.
Let's just say we had some extra sauce. So, yeah, but yeah, firings like it. I don't know. It sounds like it was kind of written on the wall long before anything big was happening. It was just like, I'm not surprised by this point.
Yeah, me neither. It was only a matter of time before we were just waiting for them to like finally keel over. Thank God, Jesus Christ.
Yep. And from there, let's talk about more toxic corporate bullcrap. World of Warcraft. Or not just World of Warcraft, but all of Blizzard games in China are no longer going to be supported in China. And China decided to basically completely burn the bridge and shit on the remains.
Oh man, it's a really bad divorce too.
So ultimately, I think it started off as like, obviously everyone's having inflation issues, everyone's having economic issues. To sit there and think that China isn't would be like one of the dumbest things to ever say ever. I don't care what the government tells us. The proof is in the pudding, let's put it that way, right? And basically their negotiations with and every major corporate company is that in China is ran through the government. You have to get government approval for everything. And government orders you to do certain specific things, period.
So Blizzard goes through NetEase so that they could operate in China.
Yeah. And Nintendo goes through Tencent, but there's also Perfect World, there's also Netmarble or something like that.
I think they're Japanese. Netmarble is the Puzzles and Dragons guys.
Oh, okay. So there's like 5 major ones. I know that much.
Yeah.
But there's fewer other ones underneath them too.
But they're all Tencent, right?
They're all basically the government.
Yeah.
They're all they don't even have to be the same Tencent. They're all the government. Basically their mentality is no Chinese money leaves China anymore. So NetEase basically told Blizzard, you're going to start working and doing this stuff for the bare minimum. Period. And they're like, no, that's not how business works. They're like, well, that's how this business works. You want to be in here? We want to make sure the company has this money in this studio, period. Da, 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 da. And from there, basically, they went through negotiations and finally led to what you had to search up.
Yeah, so basically it all fell apart. I guess it was a really nasty divorce too, because they live streamed them destroying the orc statue axe.
So they had a huge, I think like a polywood statue or something like that. It wasn't really stone. It was kind of like a wooden statue there, but it was like kind of a blend, so it didn't like crack and dry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was basically Garrosh Harrowscream with his legendary axe, the Gorehowl. And they live streamed just destroying Gorehowl, like piece by piece, like chunking it apart. And they were probably doing it to the whole damn thing. But basically they wanted to live stream it and make sure they know this is how we feel about your quote unquote betrayal, and just destroyed it. So Blizzard couldn't even go in and pick it up or anything. They just destroyed literally everything in those offices.
And then,
like, you will leave now.
Yeah,
Bye.
right after that they served green tea, which I guess was like a symbol of like what is it? If you're being fake, like
This kind of like basically a fake, but
this
like
is served
snake in the grass type of thing.
This is served to show that you're fake. This is to show that you're disingenuous, and just man, they're really pissed off.
Which is ironic coming from China.
So if anything, we're not gonna see Blizzard going back anytime soon, I think.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. And it's funny because after that, what was it? Perfect World just announced a new MOBA game, or not new MMORPG, and it literally has so many like characters and design philosophies and stuff like that from World of Warcraft, from like the flying airship of the Alliance to like the iconic Deathwing standing on two of the towers of Stormwind and roaring, same exact animations and stuff like that, but like the characters are so designed differently and stuff. But
how much do you think will jump ship, and how much do you think would just be like, well, I lost everything, so fuck it?
No, I think a lot of I think a lot of we're gonna probably see a lot of suicides, to be perfectly honest, which is tragic. I think a lot of people in China are kind of really locked away right now. And this is like even before the lockdowns and stuff like that. They're not like socially like admissible. Like they're in some bad shape socially. And you'll probably think that like several of them will probably look at this as like their whole life, because you got to think this game is about 20 years old. I've been playing it since early beta. It's almost 20 years old, and I've been playing it on and off. And I'm not as serious about it, but imagine people who were, that was being their way out. That's tragic, man.
Yeah.
Like we might see some really bad stuff go on down for the followers that happened. There has been some people who are like, no, F this, and was finding ways to get onto American servers, because American servers are actually closer to China than Oceania servers.
Oh, okay.
So Europe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I've actually been seeing a lot of influx of people with Chinese characters in their name and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking the most clearly obvious responses is going to be inward desolation or like outward defiance.
Okay.
So them saying, no, I'm going to play World of Warcraft, you can piss right the fuck off.
Yeah.
And just hopped on to here, which, by the way, just welcome aboard. I don't hate that. I hate that I can't communicate to them, but I don't necessarily hate that in general. Like, well, I like the fact that it's like an act of defiance.
Yeah. I also heard Blizzard's working on trying to get people's stuff to be able to transfer.
Nope, they're already clearing out the servers. They want to just completely desolate that thing.
Holy shit!
Like they're not pleased. They are not gonna do it.
Damn. Okay.
And I think Blizzard, even though people are like, oh, I hate Blizzard, they deserve it. In essence, I do, but I think in the situation that happened, I think the CCP is far more in the wrong. Because when you reach out and branch out to another business, you're trying to make money for basically the home location business. Period. Money's going to get funneled back to America if you're an American business.
Yeah.
Same thing I expect when we're buying stuff from World Market and you're buying like Chinese or Japanese treats. I'm expecting a good portion of that money to go back to Japan or China or even Korea, because you're going to be buying more of it from that company, right?
Yeah.
From that country, right? Like it's just obvious. But for China to go, no, whatever gets spent stays here. Then how are we supposed to spend it?
Yeah. How are we supposed to make money if you just take all the profit? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not even take all the profit. It only goes to Blizzard in China.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't go out.
It doesn't go out.
And what's the point then?
Yeah. So what can Blizzard China do without, like, they're not developing stuff. They're not a development studio. So what are they going to do? What are they truly going to do? They're there as maintenance and translation and stuff like that. They're not a developer, you know? So some of that money is going to go back to the home location in California, which is not too far from communism. But, like, you would expect that, right?
Yeah.
It would make sense to, like, oh yeah, China just really loves these games. Can you make more characters that are pretty? Hell, the whole reason we got so many elf race-based characters and them being all quote-unquote pretty races is because China wants pretty races. They love the pandas, but they love elves because they're pretty. And that's why we're getting so many elf characters, which I kind of hope that, as far as a good thing goes, that not having to kowtow to China's imperialism, we might get some really cool, like, looking characters. I want some roach killing ugly races. I want something that kind of looks like Baba Yaga had sex with a horse.
Bring back ghosts and undead, right?
They're already there.
Yeah, okay. It just gets censored to shit in China.
Yeah, they just got, like, bare bones and stuff like that you're not allowed to have.
Yeah, okay.
The ghosts, no. Ghosts were okay.
Oh, okay.
But anything that was considered morbid, like decay and stuff like that. So no skeletons, no bones, no exposure of, like, rotting flesh of some kind. None of that.
Oh, okay.
So, and no blood, of course. No blood. So everyone was made out of robots. Because it all was all black. It was weird. But
so, yeah.
that's the only good thing I hope for with that. But I also think I don't think this is overall a bad thing in general. I think that trying to kowtow to China was probably the biggest, dumbest thing that they were doing. I think that's why we had so many weird, grindy accolades and mechanics and stuff like that were just not fun, and you had to spend so much time on it. Well, yeah, because they made it for China. Gives them something to do. Because they don't do anything else. You know? So it was just kind of tragic, but, you know, whatever. Honestly, I feel like they might not make as much money, but honestly, if they make something as good as Dragonflight again, because Dragonflight's actually fun. Really fun.
Now, personally, I don't like the CCP getting into our games.
No. I don't even like the CCP getting into their games.
Yeah.
Like, one of these days, that government's going to kind of tank, and then all those companies are going to be able to, like, make whatever the hell they want. Which I think, because of all the strict regulations that government's going to have, there's going to be characters that are just a giant walking titty. I feel like it's going to be so ridiculously the other way because you're finally able to do it.
Yeah. That
they're just going to have, like, ridiculous stuff. Like a giant walking titty fighting penises everywhere. And there's going to be, like, a whole series of games like that. And it's just because people are going to be able to, like, explore some stuff that they've been kind of, like, pushing down in bottles and crap. You know, suppressing it. So, but yeah. What about your opinion after I got done ranting all of this?
Well, it just goes back to show don't go full digital. That's another thing, too.
Yeah. Another reason.
Jump on
another reason. I can't believe I didn't. I feel bad now.
Because it's like, everything's terminally online now, and it's
I was so just up and gung-ho about the fact that Germalists were fired and stuff. I completely forgot to do what matters. I am sorry, guys. I'll focus on what matters. Physical games.
Yeah.
And also, no need to get online for a single-player game. What the fuck was up with that?
Yeah.
That's real fascism right there. Totalitarianism.
It's kind of crazy how they have such a huge community that you could basically host everything single player now, and then if you want online raiding, you just jump onto a private server and then play online. Maybe I don't see the full tech of it, but at the same time, like it's old enough to where you could just do everything offline if you wanted to.
Kind of, but okay, so World of Warcraft, in essence, if it was turned on to an offline game, it'd be boring as fuck. Okay? It would just be boring, because there's sometimes you have like crossover interactions with some people, and some stuff you can't even do by yourself, even if you have the max level gear until like late game.
Oh, okay.
Okay? There's a lot of stuff that kind of restricts you on stuff. You can do stuff, a lot of old stuff on your own, fine. But that doesn't mean it's fun. Sometimes you're trying to just get some kind of idea or entity or item or something like that to make your character look just good enough. That's not necessarily the full case for everything. It's just, it is what it is, and it's the nature of an MMO. You're always going to have old content that's easier to blow through because you were weaker then. It just makes sense. However, that being said, I am not opposed to a single player game similar to how Kingdoms of Amalur, or for a more well-known one, Elder Scrolls, where it's a very vast exploration, but everything's designed for a single player experience. I wouldn't be against that idea, and just do experience and into experiences of single player player content designed per expansion as their installments. Let's call it like World of Warcraft Legacy. Warcraft Legacy. Warcraft Legacy 1 is just World of Warcraft Classic. Legacy 2 is The Burning Crusade. Stuff like that. I would not be against that at all. In fact, I think that would be pretty cool. I would like to explore Red Ridge Mountains on my own and have a different type of interaction, which gives you a completely different perspective and stuff. I think that would be pretty cool.
But the biggest issue is monetization. They want you to keep paying for the servers.
Yep. Yep. Not only that, but just services in general. They, up until just recently, you couldn't change your gender or you couldn't change your gender. At one point in time, you couldn't even change your appearance. You had to pay for that change.
Yeah.
Which was $5. But then you couldn't just change your gender over or change it to a different race. Now you could just recently you can change your gender back and forth, but you have to change your race through their services. Again, still $5, which is fine if you want to do that, right? I feel like that offer's there. It's reasonable. I mean, I've had worse stuff. I had to pay more for worse services, anything on fast food. So people saying, "Oh, it's too much," blah blah blah. There's hard baked in stuff. When they first designed this game, they baked in a lot of the stuff to be very rigid. So for them to actually have the ability to do that means that they've been gutting out some old services and background stuff for a while. So we might eventually have the ability to change your race in-game for in-game currency eventually. I don't think it's going to happen soon, but eventually they'll probably just only have the faction change or guild or server hops and stuff like that. They want you to still charge for that. And they still even have they call WoW tokens, which is in-game way to access another $30 or 30 days of your subscription, and people could buy those, turn around and sell it for buku amounts of gold.
That's pretty cool, actually.
So if you have a lot of gold, you can still buy 30 days using your gold.
Oh, okay.
So stuff like that, which is neat. But that's the services they're trying to do. It's basically to reset their in-game economy by basically making a gold sink.
Gotcha.
Because they take a part of that, but somebody still had to pay real money for it. Is there a way to beat out the gold farmers?
So don't trust online, right?
Yeah, don't trust online. Even though I don't know where that was going.
But anyways, yeah.
But yes, we're half hour into this thing, and I think we should probably stop ranting about stupid stuff about Blizzard and like going into weird deep nonsense that has nothing to do with the fact that Chinese just destroyed a really good looking statue because they are spiteful little shits.
But hey, it's because we love you guys and we love the medium.
Yes.
Unlike other journalists.
Yes, we're not sitting there like, there's some problems I have on a political spectrum about a certain race,
And
blah,
we
blah,
hate
blah, blah,
you.
blah.
And you should watch us because we hate you, right?
Yeah, no, watch us because we love y'all. We all love y'all.
You guys are great.
Yep. So, thank you all for listening to our rant again. If you like our content, as always, especially if you're new here, feel free to like, subscribe, and share content. And, as always, we will see you on the other side. Hey everyone, this is Paraka.
And Ghost.
I would like to say thank you for listening to our podcast.
If you like our content, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe and share our video with your friends.
You can also follow and support us on other social media such as Minds and Rumble. Links in the description below.